Did you know that only 9% of plastic is recycled? The rest of it usually ends up in the oceans. According to petpedia.com, there will be 12 billion metric tons of plastic in landfills by 2050. That's 35,000 times heavier than the Empire State Building. But you know what the other frightening thing is? That's just plastic. Think about everything else. Metals, glass, paper. Where does that go? What people do not realize is that recycling can increase your property value, it conserves wildlife, and maintains groundwater quality. Today, I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about recycling and why you should incorporate it into your everyday lifestyle. Today, I'm going to tell you about how recycling keeps trash out of the landfills, creates jobs, conserves energy, reduces pollution, and a few easy ways to recycle. 60 to 75% of waste in landfills can be recycled. If we all made a point to recycle, that would mean that 60 to 75% less land would be needed for landfills. Every piece of trash taken out of the garbage reduces the requirements for landfills. By doing this, it increases your property value for your land and neighboring communities. Something that we're always very interested in is jobs, and with that comes job security, especially in a day like today. According to conserveenergy.com, if we recycle more recycling plants will be set up. When you recycle properly, 10 times more employment opportunity happens compared to waste management. Recycled 14,000 tons, it created 9 jobs compared to a landfill which created 1 job. U.S. reuse and recycling activities produce $36 billion in wages a year and 757,000 jobs a year. In the past decade, recycling has it's grown into something more and has translated into a social and environmental and economic and all of these benefits to society. On a global level, according to smallbusiness.com, recycling industry could create 10,000 jobs in the UK by the end of 2020. Along with that, many companies, they raise awareness by providing recycling training services for their employees. Well, if you're not interested in getting a new job, let's talk conserving energy. According to sanjoserecycles.org, people that recycle across the country save the amount of energy it would take to power 14 million homes for a year. And also, according to americangeosciences.org, in 2014, over 89 million tons of waste. So if you think about it, that's food, that's plants, that's glass, cans, battery, electronics, and plastic were all recycled or composted, saving 322,000 gigawatts of energy. Just to put that into perspective, that's enough to provide electricity to 30 million homes. So the next topic that we're going to discuss is probably the one that you're most familiar with, whether you read about it in a magazine, you read about it on Facebook, you hear about it word of mouth, and that is pollution. And the thing about the pollution is that it is so straightforward and it is so simple. So the process of extracting raw materials can produce pollution. So when you recycle more, that means less extraction, which then equals less pollution. Another chemical involved in this is methane, which is 30 times as potent as carbon dioxide. Methane is in the landfills and it is always decaying. According to environmentinsider.com, pollution in water is extremely harmful. And that's especially if the water it's contaminated, it's not being tested properly or treated before it's released into the environment. So after hearing a few things and why you should be recycling and how easy it is to transform your lifestyle, here are a few ways that you can recycle with your family or yourself. A few of these things include reusing plastic bags, buying rechargeable batteries, recycling your electronics to a local business. So like when you're done using one of your old phones, you don't throw it away. Go give it to a business so they can make it work again, and then resell it. And then composting biodegradable food. And some of the examples of this would be like eggshells or banana peels. So like yourself, or like myself, I hope that you've taken away from this and you have seen that recycling is not a hard thing to do. And if not for yourself, do it for your neighbor, do it for your loved one, do it for the planet. You guys, we have one planet, and so we need to be nice to her, because if we keep treating her like this, things will not be well. So to go over a few things that we talked about today, those things are how recycling keeps trash out of landfills, how recycling creates jobs, how it conserves energy, reduces pollution, and a few easy ways to recycle. I'm gonna leave you with this to think about. Recycle today for a better tomorrow.